Ford says some drivers have reported dashboard screens going completely blank when starting the vehicle. No crashes or injuries have been.
Ford just shattered the all-time recall record with 116 recalls. While customers wait over a year for repairs, the Ford family is draining billions in dividends. Ford's bankruptcy risk score has fallen into critical territory as recalls explode. Parts and mechanics run short and cash flows to shareholders instead of fixes, pushing the system toward failure. Let's expose what's really happening: the recall apocalypse. A deep dive into the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration recall database was expected to put Tesla at the top. Instead, the result was shocking. Ford Motor Company didn't just lead the industry in recalls, it obliterated the record. In just 9 months, Ford issued 116 recalls, more than the next 10 automakers combined. For context, BMW had 10, Hyundai 12, International Motors 13, Honda and Mercedes 16 each, General Motors 18, Volkswagen 20, Forest River 28, and Stellantis 32. Tesla just 7 recalls below the industry average. Ford alone exceeded all other regular automakers in the top 10 combined. The historical comparison is staggering. GM's 2014 ignition switch crisis, which killed 100-plus people, set a record with 77 recalls. That record stood for a decade. Ford blew past it by 45%. So far, Ford has recalled 9.5 million vehicles, nearly matching its global sales over the last 2 years. These aren't minor issues. Brake failures, vehicle fires, dark instrument panels, and highway speeds, and airbag defects. Even worse, 26 recalls were. Recalls, failed fixes needing another fix. Those alone exceeded nearly every other automaker's total. When one company accounts for 38% of all industry safety actions, it's no longer building cars, it's running a repair operation. The customer nightmare. So Ford issues a recall and a truck is affected. The owner calls the dealer, books an appointment, and expects a fix. Simple, not even close. Here's what makes this crisis even worse. Ford CEO Jim Farley recently admitted on Yahoo Finance and the Office Hours podcast that across all Ford dealerships in America, there are 6,000 empty service bays right now. That's 6,000 bays with lifts and tools, but no mechanics to work in them. Farley himself said, as of this morning, we had 5,000 openings, a bay with a lift and tools, and no one to work in it. This means that even when your Ford finally gets to the dealership, there may be nobody there to fix it. Not because of part shortages, not because the repair is too complex, but because there's literally no mechanic available. After years of waiting, he finally brought his dream truck, a used Ford Raptor from a family member, still under warranty. 9 weeks later, the truck was still sitting at the dealership with no clear timeline for repair. His frustration boiled over. Ford Motor Company, you've lost my respect. You have lost my business forever. Josh scheduled his appointment for September the 18th and dropped the truck off on Sunday. He was told it would be inspected Monday morning and that he'd receive a call. No call came. When he followed up Thursday, the explanation was shocking. "Sir, we just haven't had a lift available to get your vehicle on." The dealership had rows of lifts. They just weren't prioritizing warranty work. Once the truck was finally inspected, multiple issues were found. Then came the real problem. The service representative explained there were 20 or more vehicles on the lot waiting for the same parts, and Ford had no estimated delivery date. Why wouldn't Ford know when its own parts would arrive? Because, as the dealer explained, many parts are made by outside contractors, not Ford itself. Those suppliers also serve other automakers and prioritize new production over Ford's recall emergencies. Parts for Josh's 2017 Raptor took 1 to 4 weeks each to arrive. This crisis is compounded by a massive technician shortage that even Ford's CEO can't ignore. 82% of us auto shops are affected, with 46% significantly impacted. Farley claims these mechanic positions pay up to $120,000 a year, nearly double the U.S. median income. Yet, the bays remain empty. Why? Because the real story behind the mechanic shortage is far more damaging than Ford wants to admit. Check out my recent video about this problem. The link's in the description below. Even Ford acknowledges the problem, offering $5,000 scholarships to auto students through Ford Philanthropy, not as charity, but out of necessity. And even when parts and technicians are available, many dealers avoid recall work altogether. Quick oil changes pay far more than complex warranty repairs reimbursed at reduced rates. The result is a perfect storm. Reluctant dealers, missing parts, too few technicians, and an explosion of recalls. For owners like Josh, the cost isn't just inconvenience, it's lost income, stalled livelihoods, and mounting debt. The bitter irony: while customers wait months for repairs, Ford Motor Company continues producing new vehicles with the same defects. Ford's own quality chief admitted in 2022 that recall repairs can take months or even more than a year. That was with 67 recalls. Today, that number has more than doubled. The experience purge. So, how did Ford Motor Company fall this far? Critics point to one core issue: the experience gap. Under MBA-style cost-cutting, engineers were treated as expenses. If one cost more, they were cut. In recent years, Ford systematically pushed out its most experienced engineers, moves later confirmed by multiple age discrimination lawsuits. Court documents showed Ford hired Boston Consulting Group to build an algorithm flagging employees by birth date and years of service. In plain terms, workers were targeted for age and experience. Engineers with spotless records and decades of awards were suddenly too close to retirement. These weren't weak performers, they were Ford's institutional memory. Engineers with 30-plus years of experience who understood entire vehicle systems and knew how small design changes could cause major failures years later. As one F150 owning analyst put it, older engines were replaced by younger ones, and now the same mistakes are being repeated. That's how $100,000 sucks. Replacing a 30-year veteran with a new graduate doesn't just cut payroll. It erases supplier history, past defect knowledge, and real-world lessons that never appear in simulations. New engineers may master CAD, but they don't know which parts failed 4 years ago. Ford once relied on experience to prevent repeat failures. Then it removed that experience and offshored much of the work, compounding the damage. The recall surge isn't bad luck. It's on-the-job learning with customers paying the price. Engineered in Mexico. If firing experienced engineers wasn't damaging enough, the next phase of Ford's strategy accelerated the problem. Ford Motor Company's Global Technology and Business Center in Mexico is no longer a support operation. It has become one of Ford's most critical engineering hubs worldwide, second only to Dearborn. Between 2010 and 2022, Ford's engineering operations in Mexico expanded by 900%, while thousands of white-collar engineering jobs were eliminated in the United States in 2020. American engineers made up 70 to 80% of Ford's global engineering workforce. 5 years later, that share fell to 55 to 60%, while Mexico's portion nearly doubled to almost 15%. The shift is most dramatic in electric vehicles, whose involvement dropped from 80 to 85% to 45 to 55%, with Mexico now leading North American EVA development, including its own battery lab and validation facilities. Mexican teams are no longer just supporting projects, they are designing vehicles. More than 70% of the Brono Sport was engineered in Mexico. The Mustang Mach-E relied heavily on Mexican engineers for battery pack systems and electrical validation. 9 Mexican engineers worked on instrument panels for the 2022 Expedition and F-150 Lightning. Parts later recalled after failures caused displays to go dark while driving. Ford publicly celebrates this shift. Ford Mexico's product development directors stated they are equally or more valuable than engineers in the US, Germany, or Australia. In April 2022, Ford cut 580 engineering jobs in Detroit. CEO Jim Farley said Ford had too many people in certain places. Less than a month later, Ford added 500 engineering positions in Brazil. This is not about the talent of Mexican or Brazilian engineers. The issue is institutional knowledge. Engineering depends on decades of accumulated experience, supplier history, manufacturing realities, and real-world failure patterns. When 70% of a vehicle's engineering moves overseas, those networks fracture. The results show up in recalls. In 2025, just 9 months in, the Brono Sport logged 8 recalls. Mach-E 7, F-150 Lightning 6, and Expedition 13. Yet, Ford continues marketing itself as Allen on America. When core engineering is outsourced and Detroit teams are dismantled, that slogan stops being pride and starts looking like deception. Ford's Altman Z-Core signals severe bankruptcy risk. The Ford family is extracting maximum value while the ship sinks. And with $9.6 billion in taxpayer loans already on the books, we know who will pay when Ford collapses. The question isn't if, it's when. And if you found this information helpful, smash that like button and subscribe for more auto content.